Trail 75N here. So today we're going to get that fabric onto the sides of Unfcknblvbl's Telecaster. So let's just get right to it. It's going to be a little bit of a long project. It's going to be harder matching this one up than it was the last one. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start applying our fabric on the sides of Unbelievable's guitar. And we're going to start by trying to match up the neck of this character coming over the side. And then we're going to glue the curve here, because by the time we get here, we're going to have to stretch the fabric to make it meet the arm and the leg over here. Normally I use the cutting off the end of this for this, but I was stretching that fabric and I tore it. So we're going to have to, we're going to use a different piece of fabric, and it'll work the same. It actually might be a little easier because we don't have poly on it, on any of it, so should help with the stretching a bit more. Basically, really only want to go about this far. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line the neck up here, and that there. All right, so we've stretched your fabric over. The important thing is that this neck lines up here, and at least part of this arm is going to line up here. And so we're going to let that all sit, because we don't forget we've only got glue from about here to here, because I want to make sure that that's going to line up. Okay, and let's go ahead and put kind of like a clamp on it with some tape. So give me a minute. Okay, so we've trimmed our fabric over, so I can kind of use tape as like a clamp, because I don't want it to lift in any of these places that are, I don't want it to lift in any of these, in this curve here. Because this is the whole base of everything, and so I want to make sure that as I do that, so I'll make sure that as I do that, that fabric stays on there. It stays smooth. Now it doesn't look like much right now, but we'll get that all the way around. Alright, so we're going to continue to take the fabric all the way over to where our strap button is. That's where I'm going to put my seam there, and the strap button, when it's installed, actually hides that seam pretty well. So let's go ahead and get our glue on. Make sure we get enough. Because it wants us to set really good. Yeah, this part around this curve isn't going to match as well as the rest of it. It's just part of the thing. So, but that's all right. What it really needs to do is be a nice and smooth transition. Trying to get a little bit of glue bleed through here, and it'll wash up with some hot water. But figured, well, what the heck, let's go ahead and just make sure. All right, so in order to get the fabric to match, because what I want to do here is I want to match this arm, and I want to match this part right here as well. So I don't have enough fabric to get all the way to here. So, but matching this is going to be much more important in the overall aesthetic. So let me go ahead and get that on there in the way that we want it. Because your eye is going to be drawn to this arm right here and how that goes over. So that's going to be much more important to the view. So we've peeled back a little bit, and we're just going to reposition things. Let's get that out of our way. And you might want to turn it back on the side we're actually matching. I'm going to match up this piece of fabric here to make a patch, and I'm literally going to line it up right with this, and glue it there. And You're just going to glue those two pieces of fabric together. And when we put our clear on, and you notice I'm putting the glue on this piece of fabric, right? But the idea is when we put on our base poly, it should blend right in. And you should not, in the end, be able to tell the difference. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so we cut another piece of fabric. It's going to take us from here to our output jack. And it's going to pull in a little bit of that material there. So the way we laid out the pattern for Unbelievable made it really difficult to do what I normally do on the side. So instead we're kind of splicing pieces together, and we're just going to be really careful to match them back up. And I'm hoping that Unbelievable will be impressed with what we ended up doing with it. All right, folks, sorry, but I forgot to record that. But what we did was we put the fabric only went to here. So we put our patch right here, came all the way around the horn and over to here. And like I said, once we clear that, you won't be able to tell. We've matched them up well enough. Okay. Okay, so here we have it. All our fabric is on, it is trimmed. You can see that here on the top. Oops, excuse me. Okay, so you can see here on the top how we followed the neck into the body here, and then over on the top here we've got the arm and the hip coming back into the front. Those are the points we're really trying to make. Over on the back here on the bottom where we split it here at the strap button, you can see how where we pick it up at the strap button, it picks up some of this again coming around this corner and matches up that way. And then again, we've got our face here connected to the body below, and then this all matches up to around the insides. And we'll shoot it this way, I guess. So the only question now is Unbelievable going to want his binding like on my original, where I had the black binding on the inside and the cream binding on the outside. All right, so is he going to want it like this here? Or is he going to want it like this here with the cream on the inside and the black on the outside? So there we have it. We've got our fabric on. It is trimmed. Our next step is really to go ahead and do the binding. But we really need to see, okay, does Unbelievable want the cream binding on the inside and the black binding on the outside to be opposite of what mine was, or does it want it just like mine was, more that even closer sister telly feel of having that black binding on the inside and the cream binding on the outside. So I'm interested to see what he's going to want to do with that. So, as always, enjoy your guitar journey, and thank you for joining mine.